Good morning, Unity Bay Area, Houston, and all of those joining us online. We're so grateful to have each one of you here and enjoying this beautiful chilly Sunday in our area. Chilly for us. Others think that this is shorts weather. We think it's coat weather. So it's all relative, right? And we are all relatives of this one presence and this one power. And so we're grateful to be with you here at Unity and invite you to join us for our morning affirmation. Here we go. First of all, to say who Unity is. Unity is a positive, practical, progressive approach to Christianity based on the teachings of Jesus and the power of prayer. Unity honors universal truths in all religions and respects each individual's right to choose a spiritual path. Doesn't that feel good to have that clarity? All right, let's join together in our affirmation today. I find comfort in expressions of love. Together, I find comfort in expressions of love. Thank you. And let's turn it over to welcome Art Fristow with us back today. Yay, thank you, Art. We're grateful to have you here with us. And of course, our ever radiant Ellen Rogers. So let's rise and join together in our morning music.
Place at the right time. I am just what I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Turn to your neighbor and say, good morning, you're welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just what I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just what I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Yes, it is.
No matter what, we're here. We're here. We're loud and clear. Good morning, everybody. And welcome to Unity Bay Area, Houston. My name is Mary Helen Mersbacher. I'm glad that you joined us today. Let's begin our service together as we affirm our statement of truth. There is one presence and one power in the universe and in me, God, the good, omnipotence. Prayer is the basis on which Unity was founded. Today we have prayer chaplains that would love to pray for your requests for 30 days, and your prayers are also sent on to Silent Unity to be prayed for an additional 30 days, and we like to say it's double prayer power. And the prayer chaplains that we have today, that prayer power will be felt for sure. We have prayer request forms at a new location in the foyer. Thought I was going to say foyer, didn't you? Sarah Thompson, John V. Jarawala, and Dawn Pence are our prayer chaplains today. Y'all want to raise your hands? Everybody knows where they are. They'll offer John V. and Dawn will offer one-on-one prayer after the service in the prayer room, which is over in the corner, for anyone that would like to pray in person. Sarah will be leading us in a group prayer before our meditation. For digital viewers, you can request prayer by clicking on the request prayer button. Or in your bulletin, or leave a private message through Facebook Messenger. Now let's join Reverend Kyra in prayer.
Thank you, Mary Helen. So grateful. And grateful to be with all of you today as we join together in prayer, because we know our prayer consciousness truly makes a difference in our lives and in this world. So find that place where you commune, where you experience the power and the presence of that Christ consciousness, that one divine light within. And we open ourselves to this now moment to feel that power and that presence moving through us and through this ministry, that we may know and feel God's presence powerfully in such a way that we are in union with that divine essence that we are. Just as Jesus taught, we open ourselves to know that we are one with God. He said, the Father and I are one, and we acknowledge the divine and I, the Christ and I, are one. In whatever way or knowing we experience this, we allow that presence to permeate our being, to be that which guides us from the inside out. Everything that we are is aligned with the truth and aligned with this God essence. And we bring this presence into this world with our thoughts, with our feelings right now, our feelings of gratitude, our feelings of knowing truth, of allowing that truth to move through and speak through us this day. We are grateful, grateful, grateful for the opportunity to come together and feel this presence and move it forth into our world. We send it forth into our ministry, to our children and our youth and our teachers, to all of our audio-video support, to our musicians, and to each of those speaking here this day, and everyone that is unifying their energy field here today as a part of this one energy. This includes those that are touching in through the online presence, those that are touching in at another time, those that have a thought towards us. All of us are unified, bringing forth this divine presence and saying, thank you. Thank you, God, for all that you are and all that you're bringing forth. Thank you, Jesus, for being our wayshower, our teacher, our leader in truth. And as we own and experience the power of this presence, it cannot help but radiate forth and send forth a blessing to this entire world. And we say, yes, we are grateful to be a part of that infinite flow of divine light and oneness. And so it is. Amen. And yes. Thank you.
Wow. This week's all the information about this week's announcements and all links to participate can be found on your Sunday bulletin, the e-bulletin. It went out this morning at 7 a.m. For people that are here in person today, please visit the connection table in the foyer to show your interest in any of the events we're announcing. Number one is celebrating with the Unity Labyrinth drummers. Celebrate spring with Jabata and the Unity Labyrinth drummers tomorrow. That's Monday, March 20th at 7 p.m. Bring your rhythm instruments in your chair. Bring water, dress for the weather, and be insect aware for comfort. They won't bug you. Anyway, love offerings are appreciated there. Okay? We have a Unity Earth Care team, in case you didn't know. Our Unity Earth Care team is meeting on Tuesday, March 21st at 6:30 p.m. If you want to know more about this program, it's a certification program, and the goals for the next steps in the practice of natural stewardship, please connect with Kathy Powell. There she is. Thank you, Kathy, for taking that on. That's a really fun thing that we're making the church more ecologically cool. On that topic, the River, Lakes, Bays, and Bayous Trash Bash. Boy, they got it going on. Texas's largest single-day waterway cleanup, so important in this area of the country. We're inviting volunteers to the 29th annual event on Saturday, March 25th, 2023. Join the thousands of volunteers who attend each year. We've done this, not thousands of years, but for many years, to help clean up the waterways throughout the Galveston Bay watershed. Cleanup supplies, event t-shirts, and lunch are provided to the volunteers, so bring your family and friends and come. Clean it like you mean it. Please connect with Wendy Hoggett to participate. All ages are welcome. You can even just drive the truck sometimes, Reverend Howard Caesar is going to be our guest speaker next week. Are y'all looking forward to that? I know you are. Yeah, that's always very popular here. He'll be continuing Kyra's series through the path of enlightenment, and he will be speaking on what to expect when expecting enlightenment. Cool. That's going to be fun. So get the word out and bring a friend. Rob Pell is going to be presenting Knowing Limitlessness. Boy, that's kind of a good one. I like all those nesses and lesses. More for the nesses than the lesses. But anyway, Knowing Limitlessness is a 10-week transformational course that will help you break down the barriers to living the life of your dreams. On Sunday, April 22nd, Rob Pell will offer an informal Q&A for this upcoming class for you to get more information. All class materials will be ordered by April the 10th, so the last day to register is April the 9th. The full class description is available in today's e-bulletin and on the Unity Bay Area Houston website calendar. Now, it's your time to talk now. Please join me for our vision, mission, values, and affirmation. Our vision is a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of a shared spiritual awakening. Our mission is to inspire minds and weaken hearts and empower lives through the teachings of Jesus Christ and other expressions of universal truth. In all that we are, in all that we live, we value unconditional love, connection, authenticity, inclusivity, trust, and compassion. We are living relevant spirituality now. Please rise.
How can I serve today, sweet spirit? How can I serve today, oh Lord? Speak in ways that I will understand. Where you lead, I will follow. Where you lead, I will go. How can I share today, sweet spirit? How can I share today, oh Lord? Speak in ways that I may understand. Where you lead, I will follow. Where you lead, I will go. Who needs my love today, sweet spirit? Who needs my love today, oh Lord? Speak in ways that I may understand. Where you lead, I will follow. Where you lead, I will go.
Forgive my disorientation a little. Your presence today is precious to us all. Thank you for joining here this morning. I particularly appreciate it. We're excited that some folks are joining us for the very first time. If you're here for the first time, please raise your hand. We have something we'd like to give you that tells you a little bit more about Unity and about Unity Bay Area Houston. Yeah. Anyone here for the first time? No? Second? Third time? We'd love to welcome you. So let's share our welcoming blessing. We love you. We bless you. We appreciate you. And we behold the Christ in you. I think everybody that comes here feels, if anything, the warmth of this church. So thank you. And now someone's going to read the daily word. Thomas, right?
Is it a good morning? Then reply, good morning.
Good morning.
That reply in itself can comfort someone, so our word today is comfort. Our affirmation, I find comfort in expressions of love. Speaking the words I love you provides comfort to an aching heart and peace in times of uncertainty. Today, I open my heart to these loving expressions as a soothing balm for distress or grief. When concerned about another, love centers me in the truth that all is in divine order. No matter how circumstances appear, I enfold the people I care about in a sphere of love, encircling them in peace and protection. When I am troubled, I find comfort in others' loving words. I try to surround myself with those who offer solace in my time of need. I find encouragement in their kindness and compassion. As we share ourselves in kind and loving ways, we hearten spirits, bolster faith, and give comfort to ourselves and others. And from 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 17, comfort your hearts, strengthen them in every good work and word.
I promise in this moment to keep my heart wide open. With every breath I take, I'm grateful. I promise in this moment to keep my heart wide open. With every breath I take, I'm grateful. I am grateful. I am grateful. I am grateful. I am grateful.
I invite you to find that sacred space within, where you open your heart, your mind, your being, right here and right now as we turn into this place of deeper meditation, where we allow the mind to be quiet for a moment. Just gentle it into that sacred space and say thank you. Thank you for stepping back, allowing my true spirit, that awareness of the one light of all that lives within me, to move me into this place of gratitude, of open-hearted allowing. As you allow this moment to inform you, to move through and bring forth a divine blessing upon you, to know that by turning within, you are giving permission to your divine self, your infinite awareness, to come forth and inform you in that sacred silence, in this secret place of the Most High, where we turn to that inner awareness. And so we are moving into this time of silence, open, listening, aware that there is a movement of spirit, of truth, speaking in and through us now. Just in this silence, let it be so. in this place of inner quiet. I feel and know the power of this presence moving through me, through all of creation. And we are one in this unified field of light, field of awareness. At a quantum level, every aspect of all of creation is alive with the light of God, the light of truth, and is experiencing its oneness right here and right now as I do. And in this awareness, I feel the power of that blessing that pours forth in and through and as me, and in and through and as all of creation as I connect with that Christ light. Allow it to bless not only my body temple, my life, and my loved ones. It blesses all those who are experiencing anything in terms of separation, that they may know themselves as one with God. We feel and know the power of this presence in every animal and every plant and mineral upon our earth, for they are radiating and vibrating that light of all, and so are we. And in this remembrance, we allow that light to speak its truth in us this day. And so it is. Amen. And yes. I invite you in joining me in speaking these words of an Aramaic translation of our Lord's Prayer. Maybe it's stuck. Let's see. Oh, it wants to come. There we go. Together, beloved oneness, breathing life of all, holy is our essence. Create your reign of unity now. Your one desire acts with ours and vibrates light to form. Fulfill this day all need for bread and insight. Forgiveness releases us, and we remember wholeness. We are free from inner and outer deception and walk your path with joy. You are the power of these truths and unite my words, thoughts, feelings, and actions through this prayer. In gratitude, my heart knows it is so. Amen and yes. Speak the word.
No, no, no more negative vibe, negative vibe, negative vibe. No more darkness, into the light, into the light, into the light. No more sadness, kiss it goodbye, kiss it goodbye, kiss it goodbye. No more wrong, just make it right, make it right, make it right. Speak the word of truth. Speak the word of strength. Speak the word of power every hour. Won't you shower your world with grace? Speak the word. No, no, no more living a lie, living a lie, living a lie. No more waiting, love has arrived, love has arrived, love has arrived. No more doubting, now is the time, now is the time, now is the time. No more struggle, give up the fight, give up the fight, give up the fight. Speak the word of truth. Speak the word of strength. Speak the word of power Speak the word of truth. Speak the word of strength. Speak the word of power. Every hour, won't you shower your world with grace? Speak the word of truth. Speak the word of strength. Speak the word of power. Every hour, won't you shower your world with grace? Speak the word.
So beautiful. Thank you, Ellen Rogers and Art Fristow. Great to have you back with us, Art. And thank you for that beautiful Susan K. Wyatt song. Such a powerful one for this day as we continue in our Path to Enlightenment series that we've been in throughout this season. And as we have opened ourselves to what that path is within us, we're moving along this same kind of a path that takes us through the chakra systems from the Eastern tradition. Don't you love I'm wearing the chakras today? I've been saving this a long time just for now. And for the right occasion, right? And so these chakra systems are the energy centers that represent our astral body or represent our energy body. And we have a mental body, an emotional body, a physical body, a spiritual body, and this astral body is a part of the energy system that is moving within each one of us. And as we open ourselves to allow the truth that wants to come through each of these energy centers and ground it in the way that Jesus demonstrated in his life, we start finding that we begin to live from a place of a free flow of spirit through us, a free flow of energy that can rise and lift our vibration into a higher expression. And so we have been in the process of going through from the beginning where we looked at the security of our base chakra that Jesus represented in his relationship with his Father, with the divine, and that we take on in our own relationship with the divine. If our security is in that God essence, then other things don't shake us as they would otherwise within the world. And then we moved into that creative center, into the second chakra, where we learned about trusting in the divine, trusting in the creative flow that is always going to bring greater awareness, greater solutions, greater experience when we open to that creative energy and trust in it to guide us and nurture us along the way. And as we moved into the solar plexus, we learned about the place where spiritual power resides, where the light shines through, the light of all joins with our light. And we bring forth a new spiritual power in our presence, in our way of operating, because again, we're grounded in all of these ways, and our light is the light of the divine that is shining through. And then last week, we moved into our heart chakra, and we looked at the way that our heart chakra is touching into, bringing love into this mix and unifying that which grounds us here in this earthly consciousness into a higher heavenly awareness, where we bring that divine into an embodied awareness. And that happens when we open our heart fully and are aligned with a higher truth and experience and expression. And today we're going to be working with the throat chakra. Now, this is the throat chakra is light blue, as I know so a lot of you have on today. It's always fun to see that we're moving and radiating this energy even in our midst here. And the throat chakra is where we unify these experiences that we've brought to light, where we understand that in this journey that has come to light within us, we now are able to speak from a different place. we're able to bring a word of truth into our everyday life, into even the thoughts we think, but then how we speak those forth. Because this is the throat chakra. As we followed the path of Jesus along the way, we recognized he taught us to speak from a different kind of place of power. His prayers were I am statements, affirmations of the truth. And he stood strong in expressing those. And we are invited to stand strong in learning and experience how do we speak truth into life. How do we follow Jesus in these footsteps of his that brought him to an enlightened state? And this is about what we're doing of claiming our true Christ consciousness. When we follow our Wayshower and our teacher, we understand there is something else happening in the unseen while we're demonstrating in the seen world, living into these truth teachings. So we can take all these teachings on in various ways, but until we speak them to ourselves, we speak them out into the world, until we live into these truths, and we begin to operate from the wisdom that is within us, we are still just playing at it until we bring it forth and we give it voice. You know, I remember when I went to ministerial school, I realized at one point that I had somehow gotten into a pattern in our life. And I think we often, because of different things we learned along the way, we learned to be people pleasers. Anybody else learn that along the way? Because as a child, it wasn't always safe, right? Life wasn't safe. And so we learned to please those around us, to say whatever we thought they needed. We became good at reading people and reading the room, reading the emotions, because often there's so much going on that's unspoken, and we're feeling it because we come in here as a sensitive being, as an awareness of the greater consciousness that's around us. And yet at the same time, we've been taught in the world often to shut down those places of really operating from that higher truth. And so we find that as children, you know how children will sometimes blurt out things and we're like, oh, you know. They say the thing we ask them not to say, or, you know. But what happens is because they're so aligned with truth, they don't have a filter, all right, which is beautiful because what they're really doing is experiencing what life is actually saying, and they're speaking into it. And we have that opportunity. So when I got to ministerial school, I had the realization that because I'd spent my life being really good at being a people pleaser, there were so many automatic ways I would respond to something in ways that would protect myself for whatever reason I felt I needed protected, or keep me from, you know, getting in trouble. And so what I realized was there were just little tiny lies. They weren't big lies, but you would react so fast to something and say something that you didn't even realize you were speaking a lie in that moment, or you weren't speaking the whole truth. And it was like, I thought about, you know, one of those push toys that little children, toddlers have that goes pop, 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 pop. It has those little balls that pop up. I felt like it was like that when I started to notice and pay attention. There were so many of them that were going pop, 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 pop. And I was like, oh my lands, how many times have I spoken something in protection because I wanted to please, or it had become such a habitual thing that I wasn't consciously engaging what came out of my mouth. Whew, it was a great realization. And I made a pledge at that point to start changing that. Well, that meant I had to get kind of silent for a while because I was so automatic. I had to stop that flow so that I could then start to focus on what was actually being said, right? What really needed to be said in this moment and in this experience. What was truth versus what was a protective white lie. We call them little white lies because they're not really harmful. In fact, we think we're protecting our loved ones by not necessarily speaking truth in a moment. And part of what's happening as we open up to this path, to our throat chakra, and start to speak truth, we become conscious of how many things we say that are not truly what we want to be expressing. We were talking about this week somewhere about some of the sayings that are in the world that we automatically say. It's like kill two birds with, well, who wants to be killing birds, okay, in the first place? All right, do I really want to be saying that? And what is it I'm putting into the world automatically because we've been taught these things, and we begin to speak from a way that really isn't in alignment with how we operate and we feel and we experience and express the divine within us. The divine's not about killing the birds, right? And you know, skin the cat. You know, there's a lot of ways to skin the cat, right? Who's skinning cats? You know, I think we have to stop and realize we have made it like, it's funny because we've all said it at different times, and we recognize there's so many ways that we automatically speak that we may not even be aware. Is that what I want to put out in consciousness? Is that what I want to align my vibration, my light, my truth to? One of the things that our Wayshower Jesus did is he started speaking truth. And in his doing so, he turned upside down the ideas and the teachings of the time. And when we begin to speak truth, it sometimes disturbs the status quo. Maybe of our feeling safe. Maybe it's the status quo of not saying what's actually here in the presence of this moment in our family or in our situations. And yet, at the same time, something in us shuts down, loses the flow of energy the moment we speak something less than truth. Everybody breathe. And what is it we've done to ourselves then? We've started to shut down, little by little tiny energy streams. And yet, what happens is we lose our sense of power. We lose our sense of the personal flow of this divine energy that is moving through in its creative way to bring truth into the world, to transform ourselves and the circumstances and the people and the situations around us. We are here in unity because we know there's another truth, and there is one that doesn't all fit the status quo, right? That often the things that we're teaching, that we're opening to, that we're considering even, we're like, oh my gosh, do I share that with anybody? You know, it's become scary for us because we're ostracized, or people will judge, or, you know, there's different things that occur. And what we've done is created a society that is quick to judge and quick to hide the truth and not speak what is really a more important, more powerful, more potent presence in the midst of the circumstances. We've all minimized and diminished ourselves and the power of the divine through us by giving power to that doubting mind, that quiet, the voice that wants to please versus the voice that wants to speak truth. Well, one of the things we're talking about today is Jesus without dogma. That's our title, Jesus without dogma. So part of what we're understanding as we look at this journey is who was Jesus and what dogma have we put on top of him that is putting him up as a model in a way that's not really truthful and that's not true to the truth that he was representing. We have, a lot of people will talk about, he was from the Middle East, right? He was Middle Eastern, which meant very dark in coloring, and a lot have said, he even had some Ethiopian background in there. Who knows what's true about all that? But we've very much Europeanized our Jesus, have we not? We've made him white man with, all the looks of that. And it doesn't matter. That's okay if that's what we feel is really true to our image of Jesus. But what's happened is we've created a lot of dogma and a lot of beliefs that have put him in a box. And then we follow and put ourselves in a box. Anybody feel like you've been in a box for too long? Want to set yourself free? The Jesus without dogma, I've talked a little bit about my own journey with Jesus. And so I want to say some more about that at time. Because Jesus first came to me as really, he was a light being, and then he took on a form that was recognizable to me from my upbringing in the Methodist and the Lutheran church of the singing the little Jesus loves me, this I know, which was beautiful. It gave me comfort in that moment as a child. and I was trying to understand, the circumstances. So we have this image of Jesus as this light, and the light that's shining through him, which is beautiful. But then we've also put all these other ideas. How do you like that? And when he came to me, for me, he was more light than he was physical form. But then he took that so that I could relate in that moment as a small child. But over the course of my life, what has occurred has been that image has moved. When I was working in the oneness experiences in India, one of the things that we were asked to do is to really look at how we had created our God and what represented our God and why we'd created them in the image and understanding that we had. And in ministerial school as well, we got to say, what is my real relationship and who is it I'm relating to? Because when we understand God, there's both this transcendent God, this all-encompassing oneness, all of everything, universal consciousness, and then there's individual relationship. How do I personally relate with that? And so as we're learning to speak our truth, we also have to say, what relationship have we created with the divine, our understanding of the divine, and our understanding of Jesus in such a way that brings forth a greater truth for us? Is it based on the dogma and the teachings that we've been given, or is it based upon something that is true within yourself? So what I realized, there were a couple things. The first thing I realized when I looked at it, that I had created my idea of the infinite, of God, as coming to me whenever I needed help. So God was there to help me in my moment of need. But what I did, because at a core level, I always knew this oneness with this infinite source. I always knew this oneness with God. So then what I did was I realized I had created need throughout my life so I could be close to God. I tell you, that knocked me over sideways when I got that understanding, that I had created need so that God could fulfill my need and I would feel close to God. Wow! What if that infinite source, that power, that presence that is there I don't need it to fulfill anything because it's already fulfilled. It's already doing exactly what it needs to do. The Christ consciousness in me is guiding and leading every possible moment. I don't have to have need to feel close to God. Well, isn't that freeing, right? It was very freeing. And then we started talking about our image of God that we related to most. Well, mine was Jesus, because Jesus had been throughout my journey. And during that, as I told you, as a child, he was a light being, and then he took form, and then later came back as a light being. And I knew him as I was taken in visions, in dreams, in different ways. I experienced Jesus in and out of form, but mostly as a light being, as a powerful presence whose voice, whose presence always spoke a higher truth that I was seeking at that moment. To remember the truth that I knew. And he was always inviting me to remember my own truth. Now, that's a beautiful thing, but challenging in your life, right? And so part of this is we're working with this throat chakra, as we're working with this opportunity to speak from a higher truth, I had to start to realize that the way I perceived was not the way everyone else did necessarily. There wasn't all this dogma. And they invited us at that time to create our God, our presence that we wanted to speak with, that we all have an understanding of this divine source. And Jesus was teaching at that time how people could change their understanding of God. They had God in this, this hard role, right? If you look at it, was all based upon the law that you're going to be smited if you don't do things correctly, right? Isn't that how a lot of people perceive that Old Testament teaching? Now, there's another way of perceiving that as well, but many people, and many of you, how many of you were brought up with an angry God, that you were going to be in trouble if you didn't do things just so, right? So what we learned was this false idea, and Jesus was coming in teaching a different way about it, that was about the love that is always a part of what's there for us. And if we feel completely, powerfully loved, right, then what happens for us in the midst of that? We begin to open up to something different, to the possibility of a different relationship with that divine source. All right, and as we open to that different relationship, then all of a sudden we can start to perceive our view of Jesus, our view of that which is truth within us from different eyes. So one of the things we actually did at this time that was very powerful was we actually wrote out our idea of what would I want my relationship with my divine to be. How would I want my divine to show up for me? Wow. What if we are the ones creating it all along? But what we've created was based on the dogma of what was taught to us, of the teachings. And so if I can create my Jesus however I want, or create my divine however I want, because truthfully it is in our own imagination and awareness, what would I want it to be? And I started writing out, and I thought, well, you know, my favorite relationships are those where people are funny. They make me laugh. Because I think we're funny people, right? That we are funny in ourselves just because of the way we are. I thought, I want my divine to make me laugh. All right? I want my divine to be very real for me in an everyday kind of person sense, right? What if my Jesus has blue jeans and a T-shirt, right? And lives in a whole different way of being just right here, right now in the world. And so my Jesus showed up. He actually, he had blue jeans. He had a T-shirt, kind of those old 50s style with the sleeves rolled up. He didn't have the cigarettes like they did in those days. Thank goodness. But that wasn't my image, right? He reached out and said, you want to dance, right? And I realized, oh my gosh, that's my relationship with my divine. Now, I know that in the process of that saying this, people are like, what? You know, talk about overcoming the dogma. Well, then it went on, and as I continued to work with, I said, all right, surprise me again and again with how you show up for me and teach me my lessons and help me understand how to release the old ideas that have me in bondage to not speaking my own truth, to not being present to what's possible for that divine presence and how it relates. And so the next time Jesus showed up, he was a bald guy, and he had a crown. You know those bubble gum wrappers we used to get when we were young? And you could make them into a crown, you know, you could make them into a chain, you could do all that. He had a bubble gum crown on, bubble gum wrapper crown on. And he looks at me, and I just started cracking up, you know. Thank you for breaking down my image of what kind of dogma I've had around the way I relate to my divine. And since then, it's been this constant flow of awareness that this divine presence that is alive and present for me in every conversation, in every experience, in the way that I operate and where I speak my truth and how I speak my truth, I first had to break the mold and the pattern of what I thought was acceptable. For me, for my relationship with the divine, for how then I shared that with others. And I think that one of the things that we do is we have this idea that if I share what really goes on in my head, all right, you know, I hear you laughing, you know, if we shared what really went on in our head, that somehow it wouldn't be okay. We're going to be judged. It's not good enough. I'm not good enough. Instead of recognizing we are divinely made, including the things that go on in our head, including these ideas that are creative and fun. My Jesus tells me jokes. My Jesus is for me, that presence of the divine, the Christ consciousness as well, is that light being, and it's this delightful way of encountering the world and speaking into things that shift the status quo in the moment. I know I'm here to be somebody who helps shift the status quo, not to hold things to the old images, but to break down the paradigms that have kept us in bondage from feeling free in our own lives, in our own bodies, in our ability to be who we are individually and collectively. Because if we're all going to just fit the mold, we become robots, right? We become automatons. And the thing that is beautiful, we are each individualized in our expression. But then I had to also learn, and it's okay to speak into that truth. I put a meme up on Facebook this morning that was a picture of Wonder Woman, and she said, you know, they told us to dress for the job that we wanted, and he goes, now I'm sitting in a disciplinary meeting, you know. Because we believe we're going to be disciplined for being our true self. And certainly to be the Christ consciousness, to be that which is an enlightened being, bringing awareness into and owning the awareness that we have, owning the wisdom that is within us, owning the ways that the universe communicates with us individually. For each of us have messages and communication. And then to be able to speak and share that actually is a transformative process for everyone around us. When we speak into those experiences where we experience the divine moment by moment by moment, we feel our guidance, we recognize that it is a place where we're giving that power to the throat chakra to share the messages, and others get inspired by that. Dawn posted something last week from her birthday, and she was this rainbow appeared, and it was so symbolic of things she was asking at that time and was giving her a message. And her post is beautiful. It's on our Unity community page as well as Dawn Pence, her Facebook page. And I invite you to read it. You know, listen, watch, whatever, all those ways. But I think that part of what happens is you find inspiration from one another when we share what is true in our own journey of our communication with the divine, our connection with Jesus, if it is, whichever way that is for you, without the dogma of old. Bishop Shelby Spong, who is no longer on this earth, but he was very revolutionary in the Christian traditions. He was an Episcopal priest. He overcame a lot of things with there. He brought out gay rights in the priesthood and in being able to be a leader. And he also was one that was very big on helping teach us that we needed to go beyond the Christianity of old. We needed to come to a new realization. And he was the author of the non-religious, that Jesus for the non-religious, Christianity Must Change or Die. And his book cover is on the third Jesus, the Christ or God consciousness we cannot ignore. And he said in his book that had been using for the Lenten series, he said, which was a man shaped by the religions of the East, he followed Deepak Chopra. And he said he's sharing his thoughts with us about a third unity way of perceiving Jesus many of us may have either lost or have never known. He says Deepak explores what he calls the Christ consciousness, which can be identified neither with the Jesus of history nor with the Jesus of the creeds, the doctrines, and the dogmas of the ecclesiastical institution. He says this third Jesus can be seen only when we move into a new human awareness that will carry us beyond the tribe, prejudice, and even beyond our religious systems. Bishop Spong goes on to say, as a Christian, I welcome his insights into my Jesus and his provocative call for me to enter the Christ consciousness and thus to become more deeply and completely human. Ooh, what if by my being willing to open to a new understanding and speak truth in a new way, notice what's coming out of my mouth, speak from an I am consciousness, as we've talked about through this series, speak from that place where he spoke with power, that brings a different light and awareness and vibration into my world. And that I let go of all the ideas and say, what is true for me? What is true for me in my relationship with divine? What if I were to share that? What if I was to speak this knowing from this Christ consciousness and live from that? See, this is the path that Jesus demonstrated. He was living from this Christ consciousness, from the awareness that the divine and I are one. The divine is present in all of life, all of creation, and he spoke that into existence everywhere he was. He invited over and over and over again another point of view, another possibility. We don't have to be mean or argumentative about it. That's not necessary. I don't need to convince anyone of my truth being your truth, because you have your own. And what I want for you is to have your own and speak what's true for you, because we gain from one another's perspectives. I've talked about years ago when I was in management meetings at United Way, and somebody would want to say something negative about somebody, and I would say, well, you know, my perception of them is, they'd say, oh, well, that person was, you know, whatever. And I'd say, well, I just find that they're very committed and devoted to what they're determined to get things done. And what if we honored that determination instead of seeing it as, well, that person just is, you know, they're like a bulldog and won't let go, you know. Well, maybe instead we honor their determination. There's always another way to perceive. They used to laugh about when I would come to the meetings, oh no, here comes Kyra. We've got to be able to look at things from a positive perspective now, you know. It was a love-hate thing. You know, they loved it and they weren't sure they liked it. But what it did, it challenged their assumptions, the way of perceiving, the way of viewing anyone and everything from a different perspective. And we are all being invited to change the ways we've perceived and then speak truth about what it is we're understanding. We're not here for all to have the exact same perspective. We're here to bring forth all the perspectives that inform and embrace and enlighten us. And we need every voice. We need every person. We need every view to be able to be better. And that means we have to let go of some of our own ego, because it means, you know, it's not, I don't want it to be me with my personality and my ego speaking. I want it to be me, the divine self that is bringing a higher truth. I don't need to be in your face with it. I may not need to speak it at all. I may need to just vibrate it into being. But when I speak, do my words have truth? And are they coming from a true I am consciousness, from a Christ consciousness? And it's an invitation. When I first got that invitation, I got quiet, because I had to notice what was wanting to come out of my mouth wasn't always true. And I think it's an invitation for us all again and again and again to go back to what wants to come forth from us as we own the light that we are, the presence and the power, and we are opening to the realization that I am the light of the world. This is a tough one for us, right? Can you say, I am the light of the world together? I am the light of the world. And notice what happens inside of you. Do you argue? Are you open to speaking that truth and owning it as a truth? Because you are. Jesus told us, these things I do, you will do also, and even greater things will you do. Everybody breathe. If you were to claim and know the truth of the healing power that is within you, of the ability to transform circumstances and situations by the energy of the divine that you are unified with, if you knew and understand you could do these things that Jesus did, you can transform the world. It begins in the transformation with us, in the healing within us, in the knowing of the truth, and then being willing to speak into that which we know at a higher level. Listen and open to that which wants to bring forth your Jesus or your divine in the way that it is right for you. And maybe you'll have as much fun as I do. I have a lot of fun with my Jesus, and my divine essence that knows this amazing truth. God bless you, friends. Have a fabulous week. Today is our light blue throat chakra, and Dawn Davis is our beautiful artist. Come on up, Dawn, as I tell you a little about her. She's often known by Dawn Jewel. Dawn Hefferman Davis is Dawn Jewel, if you've heard that word, as an artist. She is a multi-talented artist, meditation leader, healer, and longtime Unity member and prayer chaplain. Thank you for claiming all that, Dawn. She has been recognized as an exhibitor at the prestigious Troy Estate Gallery. Troy, is it Troy, how you say it? Trois, Estate Gallery. She's won numerous awards for her art, which merges her creativity with the healing power of color, which is so perfect for our series, right? And Dawn's work is inspired by her personal journey towards self-discovery and healing. She uses vibrant color, palettes, and expressive brushstrokes to create powerful, emotive pieces. She is passionate about helping others find peace and balance through her art, meditation teachings, and healing modalities. And she infuses this mission into every piece. And you're about to experience this right now. Dawn, do you want to tell us anything that you want to share about this?
Yes.
Well, here, come on over to the microphone then. Thank you.
First of all, namaste.
Namaste.
Oh my goodness. Kyra's lesson was so powerful today. And I want to thank you for letting me speak my truth here at Unity and for being heard. And that is what happens when your throat chakra is opened. And when Kyra asked me if I would donate a piece of art, and she said it's going to be chakras, I'm passionate about the chakras. Many of you know me. I've been doing the meditation group for over 20 years, all kinds of meditations, but predominantly chakras. And opening up the throat chakra, in the beginning was the word. And my favorite affirmation is, I speak my word out light to form. And I say that a lot in our meditation group. So I was excited and thrilled to be a part of this. But then I saw the thing that said 2 by 2. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I normally do like 11 by 14s, 8 by 10s, things that will sell easily at my little art shows and things that I attend. Everybody can always find a space for an 8 by 10. And I'm a very slow painter. So I said, I'm just going to have to turn this over to you. I mean, I take months and months to paint. It's a meditation for even a little 5 by 7. I thought, oh my goodness, how am I going to get this done? And when I got quiet, this beautiful thing came to me. And I saw it fully formed. I saw the blue, the sky blue, that is the chakra. I saw blue fields of flowers, blue butterflies, blue sky all around with gorgeous sort of lavender clouds. And I was just so inspired. And it flowed right out of me. I also saw the fabric of life, which I see as sort of the flower of life all around. And then it came to me as 2 trees going into that blue chakra. Golden path going up, as we're taught with the chakras. We see this golden energy flowing, and we go into it, and the lotus represents, the chakras is what they typically use, is a lotus, and that is a beautiful flower that grows out of the mud. So by the time you're up the path and into the throat chakra, it's cleared, it's opened, and your light being, your center energy is completely opened, and it's all light. It's all a golden, glowing light. And so I saw that just fully formed, and I said, oh my God, how am I going to paint this? And the same thing, it just flowed. And I've never been, to paint a painting this size in just a few months is unheard of for me, because I do take my time.
Well, thank you. That's beautiful.
I enjoyed it. It was a flow. And that's what happens when you do get in the flow of spirit and are opened.
We are so blessed by each of our artists. And thank you, Don Davis, Don Jewel, for your beautiful jewel presence in this painting and in this. So thank you. And
Namaste.
We're grateful. Yeah, thank you so much. So this will be our next in our series, and we are so excited. Next week will be the third eye chakra, which the color is indigo, which is like a dark blue. And Geraldine Travers will be sharing her beautiful art with us next week. And so we're very excited about each of these pieces are truly a journey into the path to enlightenment for our artists as well. And so we thank them all for that. Let's give them one more round of applause. This is the time where we share our offering, and I invite you to take your gifts in your hands if you're sharing them here today. And thank you for those that join us by sharing online on our donate button on our website, or through the text to give, or all the ways that your checks come in the mail, and many other things. And so we're grateful for all the givers and all the gifts that we begin to participate with together in this beautiful flower of life. So together, let's share our offering blessing. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God. Take it away, Ellen and Rick.
What if the world was a better place because of you? What if you had more love and compassion with all you do? The world would be a better place. We'd all live with ease and grace. Just believe in your dreams, it can really come true. Now, here's what you do. Join hearts, let love's healing start. Join hands, let love heal the land. I got it, you got it, the power to change the world. I've got it, you've got it, the power to change. What if the smile was the currency to purchase the dream? What if your heart held every soul as a love supreme? We wouldn't study war no more, holding love always at the core, holding all the people in the highest esteem. It's more than a dream. Join hearts, let love's healing start. Join hands, let love heal the land. 'Cause I got it, you got it, the power to change the world. I've got it, you've got it, the power to change. I've got it, you've got it, we got the power to change the world. I got it, you got it, the power to change. Art Fristo on piano.
Thank you, Ellen Rogers and Art Fristo. We do want to acknowledge, as we're ready to bless these gifts, that we have coming up Easter Sunday. Or maybe I'm supposed to do this first. Am I supposed to do this first? Okay, let's do this first. Let's share our affirmations on this beautiful abundance that we received. We celebrate divine abundance. We gratefully live, breathe, and experience abundance and generosity. Thank you, God, for the flow of resources through our ministry to bless the world. We rejoice as all our prayers are answered. We are grateful, blessed, and prosperous. Thank you, God. Oh, it's March babies.
It is March. Do we have March babies in the house? Please raise your hand.
Woo!
Oh, hey.
Oh, both
Well, all
of
right
y'all.
then. When was your birthday? The 16th?
16th?
Is today. Happy birthday. What's your name?
Awesome.
Erica. It's Erica's birthday today. Sir, what's your name? Sergio and Erica. All right, I've got to add y'all to the list, so I get to get with y'all. So,
Any other March babies in here? All right. Well,
there's so many on the screen. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, March babies. And Erica today. Happy birthday to you. Oh, wait. God is blessing you now. God is blessing you now. God is blessing you. You are wonderful. God is blessing you now. Happy birthday, March babies. And if you have a birthday coming up in April, you need to let me know, because I only have 3 people on that list. So we need to beef up that part of the horoscope.
Yeah. Well, our art exhibit will be happening. We're going to have a gallery reception night on April 11th, and hope you can all come. We're going to have wonderful food and music and an opportunity to invite the greater community out there. Everybody you know, let them come on and experience the power and beauty of this art. We want to share it with the world, and we're looking forward to that. We also want you to know Easter. Today is the second of my Wisdom Within class, so we'll see you guys in here at 12:15. And then Easter coming up. We've got a meditation at 8 a.m. and we have the Easter service at 10:30 a.m. And it's going to be a celebration with a continued art reveal. So we look forward to all the things. Today, Auralia has made food for us. Auralia Acosta, we are so grateful. I know we have different folks that have been making food, and we're so grateful. So come and enjoy if you want to have some goodies afterwards. And let's rise and share our closing song together.
Yes, please.
Oh, okay. She just said we forgot our group prayer today.
What did we forget?
Our group prayer.
Oh.
Well, we're just going to know
I'm
we are
choosing
prayed for.
heaven today. I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now. I'm choosing heaven today. I choose compassion today. I choose compassion today. I am walking the road of compassion right now. I choose compassion today. I'm choosing beauty today. I'm choosing beauty today. I am walking the road of beauty right now. I'm choosing beauty today. I am walking the road of heaven right now. I'm choosing heaven today.
Woo! And thank you for Art had another gig to get to, so he made us a music track. That was really awesome. So thank you, Art. Good luck in your other gig. Together, the light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well. Have a great week, everybody. God bless you. Together we say, yay, God.
1 second.
Oh.
1 second. If you guys want to do trash bags with me, it is at 8 a.m. at the Dickinson boat ramp. Thank you.
8 a.m.
If you want to join me for the trash bash, I have saved 10 spots for Unity Bay Area Houston, and it is at 8 a.m. at the Dickinson boat ramp. See you there. There's T-shirts. Highway 3 and 517. You'll see it. There'll be lots of people there.
When is this?
Saturday. This coming Saturday. So,
All right.
see you guys there.
Thank you, Wendy. All right.